The fall of the Philippines and the Bataan Death March.
On December 7, 1941, a couple of hours after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the Japanese invaded American airfields, harbors, bases, and shipyards in the Philippines.
The capital of the Philippines, Manila, lays on Manila Bay. The bay was a prime resource for the Japanese to resupply for their planned conquest of the South Pacific.
The Japanese planned to occupy the Philippines as part of their plan for a greater East Asia War, in which their Southern Expeditionary Army Group seized sources of raw materials in Malaya and the Netherlands East Indies, while the combined fleet neutralized the United States Pacific Fleet.
Within a month, the Japanese had captured Manila, and the American and Filipino defenders of Luzon, which was the island on which Manila is located, were forced to retreat to the Bataan Peninsula.
On December 22, 1941, 43,000 men who were a part of the Imperial Japanese 14th Army went ashore at 2 points on the island Luzon.
After this action, General Douglas MacArthur was ready to start to repel a main invasion force with 130,000 troops of his own.
MacArthur had the right to do this because he was the commander of all Allied forces in the Pacific.
MacArthur's claim was a lie. The force was made up of ill-trained and ill-equipped Filipinos and American troops.
Approximately 75,000 Filipino and American troops in Bataan were forced to go on a 65-mile march to prison camps. The men were divided into groups of 100, and the march took about 5 days to complete. This was called the Bataan Death March.
The march took place in intense heat, and the people were forced to tolerate harsh treatment from Japanese guards. The people turned emaciated due to the limited food and water supply.
Although there were many who died on the march, those who survived were taken by rail from San Fernando to prisoner of war camps, where thousands more died from disease, mistreatment, and starvation.
America invaded the island of Leyte in October 1944 to avenge their defeat to the Philippines.
In February 1945, U.S. Filipino forces recaptured the Bataan Peninsula, and Manila was then liberated in early March.
General Homa Masaharu, who was the commander of the Japanese invasion forces in the Philippines, was held responsible for the Death March, a war crime, and was executed on April 3, 1946.
All of these actions concluded the war.